Welcome to the Barkada podcast. It's Thursday, April 22nd, 2021. We're here for episode 11 with Miss Chanda Anderson.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Good.
Always look forward to seeing you.
Yeah,
Always.
Yeah. We always end up having these long, in-depth conversations. Well, I don't know about in-depth, but...
Yeah. We definitely are always on the same page for the love of Oshkosh and, the love of downtown. And I don't know. We're friends. So that helps.
And it's nice to kind of get together and kind of share a few things that maybe only some people like us would understand,
Really?
So. It's like, you get it, I can vent to you, right?
Yeah. It's nice to have someone to vent to.
Yeah, for sure.
The buck's got to stop somewhere.
Yeah. Also, a fun fact for today, it's Earth Day.
Oh,
did you know
nice.
that?
I did because of the bookstore. So we have Earth Day books out in the bookstore.
Yeah. And that's a cool thing. I always kind of forget when it is throughout the year until it actually does come up. It almost seems like there's a national day for everything now.
There is.
Right.
There's a National Chanda Day. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Marlowe Day's coming up.
Hey, right? But yeah, Earth Day is such a cool thing, and a little bit of history about that. It started back when I'm looking at internets. I think it was 1970. But it's cool to see businesses around the area and everything trying to adapt and do everything they can to be, earth conscious and stuff like that, and just trying to be better for the environment because we only have one Mother Earth, right? So.
Yeah, I gotta admit, it's hard as a restaurant. Especially I'll tell you during COVID, it was heart wrenching because you were just, we were all putting a lot into the earth. But I can tell you when I opened Caramel Crisp, I sought out compostable material, my salad containers compostable, using paper instead of plastic for paper boxes instead of the styrofoam boxes. But there's a lot, and I'll share, they're not necessarily cheap, as you know.
Yeah.
But you always I want to leave as small a footprint as I can, even though I'm a restaurant.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm already doing enough damage because I am a restaurant. I mean, we have a lot of, as you probably do too.
Yep.
And you just do as much as you can and hope for the best. But it would be nice if, what I can't stand are those grocery bags. Why aren't we getting rid of those?
Yeah. I had a little proud moment the other day. I actually remembered to bring my reusable bags to the grocery store.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where you always get there and you're like, oh my gosh, I forgot my bags again,
It is that I have them in my bag. I have them in the van, and notoriously I'll get inside and I'll be like, do I run back out and grab them? I don't, but on occasion, if it's 6 items, I'll just carry them like this and be like, okay, I can do this. But you try, right?
Yeah,
and I guess it's at least trying. I just recently, this last year, I got produce bags because I eat a lot of vegetables. So for a long time, I would just try to not use a produce bag. But let's face facts, that's challenging when you're getting, I don't know, cucumbers and, whatever. So
yeah, right.
So now I use those produce bags when I remember them.
There you go. A little bit more history on this from Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. You guys are awesome. Everyone donate if you can. Earth Day is an annual event on April 22nd to demonstrate support for environmental protection. First held on April 22nd, 1970, it now includes a wide range of events coordinated globally by earthday.org, formerly Earth Day Network, which I did not know, including 1 billion people in more than 193 countries. So that's cool. It's not only a national thing recognized here in the States, it's a global thing, right? And we have to be global partners in this effort to make sure that we're doing everything we can to keep our earth clean and sustainable, right? So
Yeah, it does have to be, every little bit helps. And, because it's one of those things where you feel like, what is my, contribution? My impact isn't going to in the global picture, but every little bit helps,
Yeah.
So the less you can use, like we try really hard not to do disposable products for indoor dining now. I declared war on COVID and went back to plates and stuff
There you go.
In January and whatever. So we're all trying.
Yeah.
I think most business I like to feel like most businesses try.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for some food product and stuff, it can be difficult to be using some of those, bio-friendly, materials. But, if you are happening to use like a plastic thing, like there are recycling resources for that, right? So we just hope that, our guests and patrons are kind of being responsible in terms of when they're done with whatever they get from us, like they can just throw it in recycling, right? So
that's a good point. Like you, me too. There are some things, some of the compostable things that can't sustain hours of something wet in them because they start to break down. So I would say like sushi potentially, you're not going to be able to have sushi in a compostable container that's see-through for a period of time because sometimes those compostable containers will start to break down.
Yeah.
All of them that are made from the is it straw or I forget what it is, but those will break down. I can tell you I tried compostable stuff for soup, did not go well at all. It isn't a paper product, so it breaks down quicker.
Sure.
But I can tell you that the compostable stuff, customers complained because they would get it to the office and it would be a mess. So
I would imagine too the reaction from the soup itself, right? The heat and
I mean, and after, and I suppose people continue to work on that technology, but, let's face facts. It's awfully hard to be as busy as we are and stay on top of everything, you know? So sometimes it just comes past me like, oh, there's a new soup compostable container we can try.
Yeah.
And it's been out for 2 years, but, I've been doing X, Y, and Z, so I wasn't on top of it.
Yeah.
We try.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of like cleanup efforts and stuff, I just thought of something like in the Philippines, there's a popular island called Boracay. It's a very popular like tourist place. I don't think you're going to be able to see it there, but it's in like the middle of the Philippines.
It's over there on the wall.
Yeah, on the wall. If you're here at Manila,
you should stop in and look.
But there was a big, huge effort in terms of, like, they shut it down, and they did a whole revamp of the island. Like, made sure they took care of cleaning up all of the issues and figured out ways that they can just have a better system in place to take care of the waste because there's a lot of tourism that goes in there, lots of visitors, and just things weren't being handled very well, and it was just starting to affect the water quality and all that, and it's a big difference. I haven't been there since they did it, but I've heard nothing but good things. Another effort that's being presented there is Pasig River. It's a popular river in central like Manila. I forget what it's properly called, but like
your dad would be disappointed.
I know there's a lot of people that might be disappointed out there, but in the Manila capital of Manila region, Mm-hmm. I remember visiting there when I was even young, like in grade school, and there's like squatters and stuff all around it, but there was just like bottles, tons of garbage in there. I'm just like, really? Like, what? Like, I almost wanted to make like a huge effort to be like, okay, I'm going to come here, start picking it up. How hard is it? Like, but they're making some really strong efforts to making the change and starting to clean up. It's going to be a process, but it's got to start somewhere, so. There's
sometimes some culture shock because we're very spoiled, honestly, in America. Mm-hmm. But funny, if you've ever watched the show Mad Men, I don't know if you can say that stuff. Anyway, there's one scene in Mad Men where they're out on a picnic and they do some cultural weird things, and she shakes off the picnic blanket and they leave all the garbage. Uh-huh. And it was before the litter bug campaign. And it's just kind of interesting to see a tipping point in our society of things that altered our past or our future, I'm sorry, because of a tipping point of the litter bug campaign.
Yeah.
So back in the day, they didn't think about all that stuff, and they're all of a sudden now we pick stuff up and we're more conscious about littering.
Yeah.
You don't throw stuff out the window. Nobody would.
Right.
I mean, I see someone do that in front of me, I almost pick it up and throw it back at them. It just is how it is. Like I personally, when I walk down the street, I'll pick up as I see. I'm sure a lot of people. Right now, it's more frustrating because of COVID. We're putting so much in, and you do see a lot more, randomly floating around. But
I think it was last Sunday or one Sunday, we stopped by your place and grabbed some lunch. But then it was a nice day, so we just pulled up right along the river walk there. Behind Silver Star Brands, I think it was.
Yeah.
There were a couple of benches there, and we just kind of sat there and enjoyed our lunch, And then looking around, like there's some garbage just sitting out there.
Yeah.
And I was just like, come on, like there are garbage cans like visible, like within everyone's reach. It's not that hard for you to, when you're done, pick it up, put it back in there. And I decided to, to go pick it up, and one of them was like a Taco Bell bag, and it was like full.
Oh.
There was like, I don't know, 6 tacos. I didn't look in there, but it felt like it felt like someone just went there and grabbed it and then didn't want it anymore, and then just opened up the door and just left it there. So
how weird.
Double wasteful, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. We're so wasteful in America.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is unbelievable at times, but there's that too. Like you just have to take the initiative. Like I'll admit that right now when I pick up garbage, I do go in and get a glove first before I pick anything up.
Yep.
Kind of wonder how long it's going to take for us to come back to pre-COVID normal, where we're not avoiding people or can, like we discussed earlier, he was in last night and with the kids who I love, and I just went up and grabbed them and hugged them because it's been a year since I've been able to really hug them. But I just did it because I'm vaccinated and I miss them. And then in hindsight, I thought maybe I should have asked. But Reginald, for one, does run up to me and hug me. He doesn't he's 5 now, so, he can
Big
do
boy.
that.
Yeah. He just turned 5 this last Friday, so.
Which he remembered. Oh, Friday. It was just, he's so cute.
Yeah.
Well, they both are. I'm sure they all are, but I haven't gotten to meet all of them.
Yeah. Soon we'll be able to bring Marie in and get to hold her and all that fun stuff, so.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
So let's think back to how we first met. It might have been at your shop. I think we just took an interest as to like who owned the shop at that time. Did we meet before the restaurant opened, or?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, because for one thing, it took you 40 years to open this restaurant. I mean, it was just kind of like hiccup after hiccup for you. We definitely met before you opened.
Okay.
Is it so sad that I can barely remember that? It seems like so long ago, but we definitely met and I don't know, had that passion for entrepreneurship and downtown and Oshkosh and whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Can you share with us like how it all started for you and how you got involved with Caramel Crisp?
Oh, sure. Caramel Crisp. Okay, so I'm an occupational therapist, or was.
Okay.
And so I did that for 15 years, and I just, got tired of it. And my mom says, if ever there's a time for a career change, now's the time. And so I started working on a business plan, which, to be honest, I had no idea what that was or that it was needed.
Yeah.
But for a loan, you have to have a business plan. And to open a business, you have to have a loan unless you, win the lottery. And so I wanted to do cookie gift baskets, like happy birthday or whatever. And that did not work at all in the business plan. You couldn't make numbers meet at all. And commercial kitchens and things like that were required. And so it wasn't too far of a stretch to go to my mom, who owned Caramel Crisp, the popcorn shop on Main Street.
Okay.
And I just said to her, I literally said to her, I'm going to ask you something, and I don't want you to get too excited. And I just said, if I took over the name, would you relinquish control? And keep in mind, she's begged me to do this since I started college. So anyway, and at that time, Caramel Crisp had been closed for a few years, so it wasn't like I had to find a new location. She luckily still had their popcorn popper and the kettles. So, and because I was raised at Caramel Crisp later, we didn't have it when I was young, but later I worked it. So I knew how to make caramel corn, the recipe from 1933 and making it in the kettle and whatever. So from that point, it was just moving forward and adding that into the business plan, which it still didn't make the numbers work. So I had to add food.
Gotcha.
So, and then at that point, it started to make numbers work, and I opened up Caramel Crisp in 2008. It took me 6 months to get the business plan and the layout and the contractors and approval, get that all organized and build out, because I had to do a full kitchen build out, and that's not easy from scratch because there was no kitchen there. Yeah. And then I opened the doors. I did a soft opening one Saturday night, and we had over 1,000 people, and I was overwhelmed.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was great. It was during Public Enemies too, though, so there was a lot of traffic down.
That was a good time.
Yeah, it was. It was. So, and to be honest, the first 4 or 5 years, if the doors were unlocked, I was working that counter. I could never do that again. So I'm thankful for my staff. I'm grateful for my staff. Yeah. Because I just physically don't think I could go back to that. And I still work a lot, we all do. But it's just different. And you can't have, 8,500 square feet and not work a lot. Right. It's just different. Yeah. So my staff's always like, you used to work the counter? I'm like, I did. We had a manual cash register. It wasn't all, barcodes and stuff and whatever.
Yeah, it's always fun, when staff, if you're helping out and like, oh, look at you. Like, what do you mean, look at you?
Yeah, like I did actually, I do know how to make cookies. All those recipes are mine. They're all developed by me, even though I can't taste test them right now, diet. But, they are all my recipes.
Yeah, that's awesome. What was the address on Main Street before? It was on the east side, right?
Yeah, 420 North Main.
Okay.
But it was on the west side when it first opened in 33. It was right next to the theater that isn't a theater. It's an eye doctor now. The theater was an eye doctor, and we were next to, Caramel Crisp was next to that, 33 until the rumor is till the 50s or so. Okay. And then it moved across the street to 420 North Main, which wasn't its address then. It was like 12 or something. And then it was at 420 North Main until 2002 maybe ish, 2003. I'm not really sure. Yep. And then it closed.
That's when they had a brief break.
Yeah,
in between.
yeah.
Okay.
My mom just it's too much for one person, but it wasn't enough for two, kind of thing. Yeah. It was kind of in the transition time of where the frontage road was really taking over everything, and whatever. And so people, I always say, they're like, who's your biggest competitor? I'm like, Walmart. That's my biggest competitor because the one-stop shopping is too easy. You no longer do popcorn here and chocolates there and whatever, you go to Walmart and get it all, you know.
Well, you can get a haircut there, right?
Can you really?
I think so. They have to have, there's got to be an optometrist there too, I'm guessing. Pharmacy?
Yes, because my mom said she got her pills or something there once.
Yeah. Okay, this is getting off topic a little bit, but it just reminds me of hearing some stories about people that will just live or do like a challenge or something about see how long they can stay at a Walmart because it's open 24/7, right?
Oh.
It's got everything you need. You can get your food.
Let's stop promoting Walmart. Right? No offense to Walmart, but I'm not a person who shops at Walmart. I try to spend every penny I can locally. Like I don't even go outside of Oshkosh to eat except for one restaurant, and that's just because my husband makes me, more or less. That's to keep peace in the marriage, but. Anyways, so there's one restaurant we go outside of Oshkosh for typically, besides special occasions. If my dad says we're going to go to the other side of the lake for my birthday, obviously I go. Yep. But, like I spend my birthdays with you. Yeah. Because I have a weakness for sushi. Mm-hmm. So I try, I think most business owners try to stay as local as possible. Now, granted, you got to do the Walmart, the Target. You have to. There's just no way. I mean, I suppose there's a way, but it's not necessarily easy. And it is needed, like diapers. I mean, you can't get diapers by me. You're going to have to go somewhere else and get those.
Well, maybe that's something you should consider. No. We need a downtown diaper place.
Yeah, there you go. But it just is, I don't have anything against Walmart or whatever. It just is me.
Yeah, your preference is elsewhere.
Yeah, I like to keep my loyalty to my friends and my fellow business owners.
Yeah. I mean, that's the cool thing about being part of this downtown community. If you really do explore and seek out the things that you need, you can find a lot of it here, right?
You can find a lot of it at Caramel Crisp. Not diapers. Yeah.
Well, over the years, you've kind of revamped and kind of adapted to what guests have been wanting, right?
Yeah.
So can you tell us about like your latest edition that you've had there?
Sure.
You added?
Yeah. Like everyone. So you always are like, you build it, they will come. And to be honest, in the beginning, you probably remember this. In the beginning, you can barely afford toilet paper. You've just dumped every penny you have into opening your business. Mm-hmm. And so now you have to wait for sales. Mm-hmm. And the first year or two are hard. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're just hard. I remember like, can we afford a Christmas tree? I mean, it's just hard. And my husband makes great money, or decent money, but like you're putting every penny you have into the business. But anyway, so at some point, Apple Blossom Books wanted to move next door to me. And
that's right, yep.
Mm-hmm. And in opening up the wall, so we had a connection, I needed some more square footage. So I took as much as my landlords would give, which was 500 square feet of Morton's when they closed. And I added the back, which was a lot of storage and more gift shop. And then after a little bit, we just needed more room because I like to expand again, build it, and they will come. So I asked my landlords and developed an awkward connection to what was the former Symphony offices and is now my toy store. And it was a gift shop, but when Apple Blossom asked me to sublease their space, I moved the gift shop over to that space and the toy store into the former Symphony space. And as much as I love Bill Timke and Timke Jewelers and then Dream Jewelers, I really had always wanted that corner chunk because I needed to expand my kitchen.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
It was the only way I could do it. So when Kim moved and built out on the frontage road, I subleased her space and expanded into that space and promised Pete, my husband, that would be it, right? So that was the last expansion, and I finally got that. That was a big one, so it was expensive, and I got that one paid off in December of 2019, and to be honest, 2020 was going to be my year. I was going to finally start to really be able to take a draw and benefit from being a business owner. Long story long, COVID, and but everyone says they were on track for a stellar 2020, January and February, Oshkosh as a whole. So, March hit and whatever happened, and then because of regulations and different things, I took the seating area because I couldn't socially distance it in the ice cream area.
Yeah.
I took it out and I added a pop-up bookstore, and I feel like Oshkosh needs a bookstore, and I've always loved bookstores, and yes, I'd rather Candy and Apple Blossom would have survived and whatever, but I decided now to keep the bookstore, and Pete and I are making a 2-year commitment to the bookstore edition to see if it will take off and support itself. Yeah. And I can tell you those bookshelves are expensive, but
they look good.
Like everything,
Yeah. Yep.
And so we did the bookstore. So, I mean, we've always had children's books, and they do well, honestly, in the toy area, but we've added travel books and pet help and sympathy and fiction and nonfiction for adults and whatever. And so far, it's doing okay. I'm waiting on some more bookshelves to get delivered, and then I'm going to start really pushing the advertising dollar at it to build awareness. Yeah.
I just noticed one of your posts, too. The 10 book thing? Is it? Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So people may not realize this, but book markup is just not much. And so you can't really just mark down books 25% because many books are only marked up 25%. So anyway, to compete with the Amazons of the world, we did a Take 10 promo. And if you spend, we have a punch card, like an award card, a loyalty card, and you'll get $10 off your purchase and once your punch card is full, and then it equates to 10% off of all of your purchases. So nice. That's the way we're going to try and compete, and whatever. Hopefully, people recognize will we ever be as cheap as Amazon? Probably not, because Amazon plays a game and makes their money from, while I'm ordering this book, I might as well order this DVD, right? And then they make the money off of that.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I also got this shirt from there, right?
Yep. And that actually, we, for whatever reason, we sell so much stuff related to old fashions. And so I had those T-shirts printed because I thought they were fun. So Forum printed those for me.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Well, against, spending local.
Yeah.
And, but it's just as all trying to, we are a pretty heavy tourist stop, so I like to really focus on Oshkosh and Wisconsin stuff in the gift shop. I mean, other stuff too, but we try to have what we can promoting the city, because we are a destination in Wisconsin.
Yeah. For those of you listening, it's a shirt with a Wisconsin outline and it says Old Fashioned Fish Fry, Supper Clubs, and then it says established 1848. Pretty neat. I like it.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's fun. I love Oshkosh, and I love Caramel Crisp. I love owning Caramel Crisp.
Kind of with the whole branding thing too. I've been going back and forth, but more recently, like on our full like Manila logo, we have Filipino sushi rabata, but like you said, like your place is a destination, and so are we. Like we're one of a kind,
Right.
essentially here in Wisconsin. So we just have some new water bottles here that says Oshkosh, Wisconsin underneath, and that's something I think both you and I are proud of. Associating ourselves with the town and the city that we love. So anything we can do to help promote and let people know that we're here in Oshkosh, I think that's just better for the rest of the businesses around here too, so.
100%. I often get asked, like, why do you do so much for the community or whatever? And you do too. I'm not the only one.
Yep.
But my answer always is a better Oshkosh is a better caramel crisp, so although it's not directly, but if I pick up garbage or you pick up garbage on the Riverwalk or whatever, essentially that's a better Oshkosh. Just like if we have great downtown events or mini mural walks or whatever, that ultimately builds a stronger community and a stronger sense of community for the locals as well. So Oshkosh is already a destination for events and things just because of our centrally located and being built up in that way. But there still is stuff that we need to remind the community about is here on a daily basis for
sure.
locals.
Yep.
As I stated earlier, I enjoy my sushi, and I mean, are there sushi places? Yeah, but is there Filipino places? I mean, I don't know where else that is. So
Yeah, there's a place down in Milwaukee. Shout out to Meat on the Street. It's a food truck concept, so they do some pretty cool things. So they do like a fusion menu. So they do like tacos, burritos, a lot of skewered items, and then keep some stuff like traditional, So it's a cool thing. I haven't been there to visit, but I remember that the dad of the two kids that are running it was in here and talking a little bit about it at the time. I think it was before they opened up or whatever. But yeah, it's cool. It's a different animal, like the whole food truck thing.
yeah,
But it's cool that they have the flexibility to be able to kind of go in different pockets in Milwaukee and to be able to serve. But yeah, I can't even imagine being in that position right now with food trucks. But there are a lot of cool things happening now that are kind of helping support those things again. Like WGNR, I saw they had that thing on Wednesdays. I think they're doing it here and in Appleton. So it's cool to see that going.
yeah. And I know that the senior center is doing their food truck Friday because I got called to be there. I think it's August 22nd.
Okay. I think they're only doing one this year too, because of who knows what's going on.
I did say, like it's outside. We're all. I admit we're all sick of it, COVID. I just was reading this morning. There was an article like outside the virus is so diluted that it's really pretty safe outside, and but to each their own. We'll still be in masks inside until we don't have to be or whatever. And and I'm not here to judge anyone on wearing or not wearing.
Yep.
But it just is so hard for me personally because I love the city so much. And, as I already stated, 2020 was on track to be a stellar year for Oshkosh, Caramel Crisp, businesses, economy. And we, I don't know, like the powers that be just came and reined in and been like, okay, you guys are taking stuff for granted. We're going to knock you back a notch. And, I know Amy at the CVB and I have commiserated on many occasions because we were just on track for such an amazing year in Oshkosh. Even, I plan a couple events and those were taking off, and we have some art projects that were taking off, and it just is like, okay, instead we're all just going to work our butts off and drive delivery for a few months and try and stay afloat and, whatever. So
very cool.
come up with ideas like make your own sushi at home and cookie decorating at home and Easter bunny deliveries and anything you could to pay the bills.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. Yep.
Keep your staff working.
For sure. All right. Well, we'll take a quick pause for the cause here. Why don't we show the specials for April here, because it's kind of wrapping up here in a hurry. But when we get back, we'll get into a little bit of Osh talk and share some of our thoughts with some cool things that are happening coming back, and along with an article that was recently published in entrepreneur.com.
Hey, it's Kira from Manila Resto, and I have our April's monthly specials out for you. Our drink special is Waling Waling. Waling Waling is the queen of the orchids in the Philippines, and our drink features some of its beautiful colors. The Waling Waling features mango Bacardi, coconut tanduay, pineapple juice, orange juice, and ginger ale. The drink is then topped with a splash of grenadine and comes with a lime wedge. Our sushi special is Dama de Noche. Sabrina puts together this beautiful 8-piece roll that features eel, spicy salmon, cucumber, and lettuce on the inside, with rice on the outside. The Dama de Noche roll is then topped with eel sauce and wasabi mayo. Dama de Noche is the queen of the night. These flowers can be found in the Philippines and bloom in the evening. Our Filipino special is Atimonan ribs. Our famous Atimonan ribs are back for the month of April. We take our savory, house-made Filipino barbecue sauce and put them on our fall-off-the-bone ribs. These ribs are popular for our regulars, so be sure to get your orders in before we run out. We'll see you at Manila Resto soon. Mabuhay!
All right, we're back for Osh Talk, episode 11 with Chanda Anderson. Let's get back into it.
Yeah. We could sit here all day.
I know.
You guys are going to get bored with us.
Some good talks. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Mark Laux. He reached out to me and asked if we could contribute to an article that he was co-writing for entrepreneur.com.
Oh.
It was an article that was published to kind of share like the efforts of what businesses have been doing to kind of adapt and during these times and everything. And also a shout out to the Supples for making the article as well. The article's title is called Entrepreneurial Leadership, Good Eats, How Independent Restaurant Operators Are Showing Their Strength. There are a lot of cool things that people have been doing around here, and you guys included, right? You guys came up with like a cool little take-home kit as well.
Yeah, a couple of them.
What were the things that you guys offered?
Well, so it hit, safer at home. And I think that all of us went through maybe a solid week of pure sadness and depression and scared, to be honest.
Yeah.
And as a business owner, it's horrible in all senses, but as a business owner, I felt like I was losing my child, that's how much I love Caramel Crisp,
Mm-hmm.
So after that week of pure sadness and depression or whatever, you kind of well, it's time to step up and save the business.
Mm-hmm.
So you start brainstorming whatever you can. Mm-hmm. And as we all did, I started, my software company platform came up with online ordering. And so we got that loaded and once they developed it and so we started delivery. And then you start brainstorming different ideas of what am I going to do to help, get people engaged in Caramel Crisp still. So, we're known for the best cookies ever. So I started the cookie kits. It was right before Easter. So we did Easter eggs, color your Easter egg cookies,
Yeah.
I don't know. The first day I introduced them, we sold out in 2 hours, and our ovens only can bake so fast, and you just really don't expect it. But at that time, the community support was also really encouraged, thanks to Amy Albright at the CVB. And, so you did that. We did ice cream sundae kits because, we have ice cream. And then I started doing different birthday delivery baskets, and
Very cool.
I ran Easter Bunny deliveries for 2 days.
Were you the Easter Bunny?
I was not the Easter Bunny. I should have been because he was so skinny. Anyway, he needed some more cookies. Anyway, maybe after some chocolates and Easter Bunny, whatever. So we did that, and that sustained life in Caramel Crisp for another few days, and you just kept doing what I referred to as gimmicks. We sold groceries because, do you remember, like, everyone was running out of everything.
It was like, hard for the grocery stores to keep those things in stock, even retail stores, right? So
it was unbelievable. So, I got toilet paper in. I sold it at my cost, which, everyone thinks that restaurants get stuff cheaper, but we actually pay more. Like I pay, I think, $4.25 for a gallon of milk, maybe $3.75. It ebbs and flows. But, so I did offer gallons of milk at my cost, but people are like, oh, Chanda, and I'm like, I swear to God, I'll show you. This is what I pay, because of the convenience of delivery and whatever. And, not that I pay for the delivery because I want the convenience, but I'm not complaining. But everyone does think that we get everything so cheap, but we don't.
Yeah, well, we could if we were ordering in such a big amounts that we could warrant lowering the prices, but we can't.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone's like, oh, I can get this candy bar or something at Walmart for $0.25. I'm making numbers up. But I'm just like, honest to God, I can't buy the quantity that they can buy, so I can't get to their price point. So I just don't carry a lot of candy bars because literally you can get it at Quick Trip for what I pay for it,
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, for those weeks and weeks and weeks, and you just did everything you had to. I was driving delivery from morning to close, and it was weird because the lights were never on in the store, and everything was dark, and we used the dining room for storage, and and whatever, and then once Safer at Home was lifted, then you socially distanced everything. I was so grateful for spring. So things started to feel better once we had the outdoor patio open. Yeah. My outdoor patio is always success. It's,
nice little place to hang out.
Yeah, exactly. Sure. And, we made it bigger, 3 times the size, and spread everything out and got as many tables out there. And you just continued to do what you had to do to keep your baby alive, right? Yeah. So probably about June or July, you started to feel, at least I started to feel like I might actually survive this. You have to pinch the pennies, and nobody made any money, and we still had to put a lot of our own personal finances to stay afloat. But that's what you do, that's what you did the first few years till you started to see, money come in. Obviously I don't pay myself, and I had to give up all advertising. And
yeah, that's a tough part, right? Because, you build relationships with the people that you work with at, let's say a local publishing place, and then you're like, we can't swing it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's heart-wrenching when I had to give up my billboard.
Because you always had a good presence there in 41.
Yeah, I mean, I teared, to be honest, because again, it's like you work so hard. You and I have been in this business for a long time, relatively, and it's so much a part of who we are. And to see your business not thriving, to see your livelihood not sustaining, to see your community struggling, I mean, these are all things. And then that's not even touching on the fear of maybe getting sick,
Sure.
Or I was so scared for my staff, like I went through a period of time where I was more afraid that they would get sick because I'm open, like they're here because I'm more or less making them. In the beginning, I put out a message and said, anyone who doesn't feel comfortable working, whatever. And a few people took me up on that. And then as time went on, they came back and, whatever. And it's all like a bad dream now.
Yeah. We're just slowly waking up from it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, in January, once I was past my harder months of whatever, I just was like, that's it. We're going to start reintroducing the full menu because we had to cut our menu because we can't turn over, you too, like how much fresh fish can you have on hand when you don't know if you're going to sell anything? So you cut the items that, my salads, I went from 8 to 2, so.
For sure. Yeah. Back to the article here. It talks about, restaurants and stuff doing pods, and the Supples were mentioned in this article, and they did the river domes, so kind of.
I'll admit I looked at them. I can tell you in the fall I went out and bought patio heaters where I could, and they were well received for a period of time, especially on Saturdays. I have a lot of ladies in coffee and whatever. Yeah. So, I did do that. I did look at pods. They were a little pricey for me, so I opted to not do that for that, and there were a couple other reasons. The Supple location is a great location for that.
Yep. And year round, really, because in the winter it's pretty, with the snow and everything, and you're inside a dome and you're able to be a part of it, really.
Yeah. Well, and I think I even saw, I apologize, I haven't been there, but I think I had even seen that they had done some like Christmassy decorations and stuff outside. And I mean, like, what a great feeling to enjoy during the holiday season. Yeah. Even into like, everyone's starving for stuff to do. And they offered a safe alternative for the people that weren't comfortable for dining room experience yet.
Patricia and I had the opportunity to do that. Like, we were kind of going in and out just to grab a quick lunch, but during that time, no one was using one of the domes. They're like, "Oh, you want to go out there?" And I'm like, or Patricia was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay," but it's very nicely laid out. The seats, and they have even provide you with like blankets and stuff if you're not warm enough from the heater that they have. Which
would have been Patricia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have like a smart device there, so if you wanted to sync up your phone to it, like you can play music. And so the server would come in, unzip the door to the dome, and then come in and all that kind of fun stuff. And it was very well set up, and they did a bang up job, So I
can foresee that definitely being an experience to keep, an investment, because it, like I said, they were expensive, and and plus the furniture and stuff that they've put in there and whatever. So it was an investment, and I do foresee that sticking for them to use those in the winter months and be, I don't know, like an Eskimo type experience or whatever. However they choose to spin it, post-COVID emergency situation. Yeah. I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of changes that stick. I think there's going to be a couple restaurants that maybe never go back to on-premise dining just because they've been very successful at their carryout. Yeah,
just certain models work more in that favor, And then you think of trying to find staff that can help you, inside the restaurant itself or retail. It's hard.
The staffing is a nightmare. And I mean, I am so lucky because people want to work at Carmel Crest. I think they get cookies nonstop, which they actually do. But, so I'm always lucky. Small businesses probably are a little luckier because a lot of people really appreciate and want to engage in small business and choose to work.
Yeah, it's a different environment, right?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Like, I look at my staff as my kids. So I've been lucky. There's still plenty of issues, finding a baker, finding skilled bakers, finding skilled kitchen staff, finding daytime help when school's in session.
For sure.
you know, I mean, you and I both have struggled for years, and now it's just worse.
Yeah. Kind of jumping back into this article.
Like how he keeps redirecting me.
Another example is Fox River Brewing. With three locations in the Fox cities of Wisconsin when the pandemic hit, these high-volume independent restaurants saw their sales plummet. Part of their response was to introduce so-called river domes, according to business owner Jay Supple. The domes have been such a hit, he says, we'll have them every year moving forward from October through April.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So we all think alike.
Yeah. The river domes can hold up to 8 people comfortably and include heating, adjustable lighting, entertainment systems. Supple says the river domes have brought the business more than just a new way to entertain more guests, noting the social media interest in guest posting their experiences on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat have been tremendous. Like when we have, you know, guests, customers, you know, come into our place and share, like they're our brand ambassadors, really, right? You know, and that's the really cool thing to see. And sometimes when you see people like posting pictures, you're like, wow, that looks really good.
Yeah.
Like, can we go ahead and use that?
I know. Just recently, I saw Autumn Urban posted a picture of a rice bowl, and to be honest, I didn't know that you had them.
Okay.
And that's only because when I come, what do I get? I get sushi.
Yeah.
You know.
You ever go to?
Yeah. So I am. Well, you know, you almost have to come 2 days in a row. Like if I only get out once a month, if I only get here once a month, I'm going to get my sushi. Mm-hmm. But if I came twice in a month, you know, and it's so sad to say because, you know, nobody has time. But, you know, then I could try something else or branch off because I crave my sushi. Yeah. You know, and I can tell you I'm looking forward to Tuesday.
Yeah. Have you tried our Sushi Take Home Kit yet?
No. Why do I want to do a take-home kit when you can make it for?
Yeah.
I'm like, I think that'd be fun, like for a family or a dating or, you know, whatever. Yeah. Like, but I'm not going to be able to make it as good. So, you know, I'll let Ninoy make it, you know, or whatever. Yeah. You guys can, you know, I'm a weird person because I'm very, very selfish with my time. I like to come in, eat, leave, enjoy the ambiance. I like being here. I enjoy seeing you. Mm-hmm. A lot of times I get lucky and the kids will pop in, so I get to see them. Yep. You know. Yeah. So I'm not. I think it was an amazing idea. Kudos to that because I think it would be super fun. But I'm also not a super crafty person. So Pete maybe would like it.
Well, the beauty of it is like we provide all the ingredients, right? And no matter how it looks, it's still going to taste amazing.
Yeah. True. I'd be the one that'd be like, get the sushi kit, honey. Let's go home. And then we just like eat it. And like you can take a bite of that, take a bite of that, and take a bite of that. Yeah. It all goes to the same place. I'd end up eating the shrimp first and then leaving the wraps or
I was kind of joking around with the people when I was sharing the article. I'm like, hey, my beardmadeentrepreneur.com. So you can see the picture. I'll post it on the video when we do it. But that was a time when we didn't really see anybody and we were wearing masks and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it was a long beard.
It was.
That's Patricia's reaction and my mom's. Yeah. So it's gone.
Yeah.
To finish up this part of the article, as the pandemic took hold, many restaurant operators turned their attention to replacing meals that would normally be cooked at home. Carry-out and delivery make up a large portion of the restaurant businesses today, but many meals that consumers love simply do not travel well when prepared in advance. The solution for some innovative restaurants has been to offer take and bake products or meal kits that consumers can prepare themselves with restaurant quality ingredients at home. One unique example is Manila Resto, a modern Asian kitchen in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. According to owner Manila, Mark Laux, delivery made up a small percentage of the business prior to the pandemic. Now, like during the pandemic, it was everything. You know, when we were shut down and we couldn't have in dining, you know, we had to adapt and all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, one of the more creative ways Mark Laux' business has gathered excitement is by offering sushi kits that come with everything a consumer needs. The kits need to be ordered in a day in advance, and timing is critical as they are packaging raw seafood that can spoil easily. Each order comes with a rolling mat, chopsticks, soy sauce, ginger, wasabi, cooked sushi rice, 5 nori sheets, 2 packaged sushi roll ingredients, and 2 packaged maki roll ingredients. Ambas even made a narrated step-by-step video that shows guests how to make the perfect sushi roll. Yeah. That was, back to the whole brainstorming different ideas during the pandemic. Like, we were sitting around and Marley, somebody on our team, shout out to Marley. She was like, why don't we put together like a sushi take home kit, And then, we took it a whole nother step. We're like, well, let's make a video, because we do all of our social media stuff like in-house, and we thought that'd be great. And she kind of spearheaded the shooting and all that kind of stuff and worked with Chef Ninoy. And then, I dropped some narratives and stuff like that, but really the talent behind everything there and in the kitchen, he's the heart and soul of Manila, Ninoy.
Yeah.
But it was
my favorite.
It was a fun project to do, and like we've talked about, this is something that we'll always have.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just it's a pandemic thing. We're going to get rid of it as soon as it's done. But we have the capability of doing it. We had to find the proper packaging, and we did our homework and figuring out what would work well. And we've had some good feedback so far from people, and like I said before, it's always fun getting FaceTime videos, like, hey, check it out, look at what we're doing, or, videos or pictures of the finished product and stuff. And, it's fun.
I've seen a lot of people post it, and I think it's an amazing idea. I really thought it was smart. Yeah. And I, there's a lot of good things. It's hard to believe, that came out of this. Mostly, I got to say, it humbled me. To know how much community support and how much love there is for us small businesses, how much we are appreciated, because they did, the community really, you just heard a lot, you had a lot of support. All of December, I was completely humbled by the amount of that. And there's definitely some things that we all learned and things that will stick. I think that forever it will be fun. I really think I would have fun with that, teaching kids that. I think that would be so much fun. But it is a great idea. Yeah.
So thanks again to entrepreneur.com. Wendy Keller and Mark Laux for putting that article together. It's always that's one of the reasons why that I wanted to have this podcast is for people to share their stories and really to share ideas to other people. Like, I don't think we were exactly the first ones to come up with something like that, but we were the first ones to do it here in the area.
Yeah.
And it's just, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're just finding different ways to make the business go. So
trying to stay alive. Yep. Trying to coast, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all we all are, many people. Someone just told me that they had heard of a place thriving, and I wondered to myself, okay, when you use the word thriving, do you mean, 2019, or do you just mean not drowning, and so it's everything, perspective is very different now, I'm just happy that I can pay my bills and stay, keep my head out of the, drowning. I don't, whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just is, again, I am very, very, very grateful that I survived.
Yeah, we are too.
Yeah. Because, and again, now we're all scrambling, trying to build everyone else back up too. Everything back up, EAA is coming back, thank God. I just saw yesterday that the Glow is coming back, the basketball team, the women's basketball team. So excited about that. Yesterday, super excited. I'm not a person that goes, but I'm very happy for Oshkosh. I saw that the Country USA grounds have been taken over or bought or whatever. I didn't read the article. I'm sorry. I just read headlines. But I was so excited for that because that is again, I don't go to it, but it adds to community.
Oh, for sure.
And
Makes us even more of a destination, right?
yeah, I mean, and I don't honestly see a lot of business from Country USA, Rock USA, so I don't really see that. But even, all of the jobs that it gives and the trickle-down effect. So, Jane Doe works Country USA at a beer tent, so she has more money to spend at Carmel Crest next week or whatever. It just is, all of that adds to the room tax and supporting different, the Grand gets paid off the room tax, some of it, and CVB and, whatever. All of that stuff helps for our community. So
definitely,
I was so excited for both of those things, the Glow and the Country and Rock USA grounds.
Yeah. That was something I was going to bring up too, but yeah, it brings thousands of people here, right?
It's awesome. And again, you and I, we think so much alike, because we love this community, born and raised here, So, we love the schools, and you're a big supporter of Lourdes, and, I'm a big supporter of, well, all of them, and I'm sure you are too. But, it just is this is an amazing community, and we all work together to keep it and to build it and to continue to now repair it a little. But
yeah, for sure. Shout out to Lourdes. They just had their auction on this last Saturday, which is pretty neat. It was a virtual auction, obviously with all the stuff that's going on, but it was a cool format. And
it was a great idea.
You could, log in and bid on certain items, and we were one of the Knights pick, and we put together a Knights Boodle fight for 12 people, and that actually went for $715.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which is not actually how much it costs, just to
Yeah.
put that in there, that plug for Manila.
Yep. And then we also donated a percentage of our sales from that Saturday. So all in all, I think together we raised over $1,000. So that was nice to kind of be able to give back. And I think I didn't get the chance to see like the numbers and everything that came through, but I thought I heard it was rather successful. So
I haven't heard either, but Carmel Crest donated to the boxes that got auctioned off, and because again, I'm a huge supporter for schools, and whatever you can do during this time. And so we did donate to the boxes. I think there were we donated 200 items for the boxes. So I'm going to guess they, raffled off a bunch of them. I didn't hear when I got a box. I was lucky enough to get a box, and it was great.
Yeah, there were a lot of goodies in there.
Yeah. I did give away my nuts and bolts and caramel corn that were in the box, and which went to your children, I think, or maybe Jessica Benish. Anyway, I don't remember. But there's so cool. It's just such a cool idea, and the box itself from Menasha Corp, that was so cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize how big they were until we stopped by your office, and I'm like, that's how big they were?
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of stuff crammed in there.
There was a lot of stuff in there, and the whole box was, the box itself, the printing on the box was super cool. And then everything in there, from drink cards to beer to Hughes chocolates, which I have a cheat weekend coming up for my diet.
There you go.
I'll be eating those. I was really excited to see that. But anyway, I just, again, the community, it's awesome. Everyone really stepped up and helped, and hopefully they got, where businesses are suffering, so therefore we're struggling to financially assist the nonprofits, and so they're all it's just all a trickle down. So right now you're just like, okay, I personally am going to be starting some advertising, and I am struggling to spend the money outside of Oshkosh. Like, if I'm going to spend money on advertising, it's going to be in my community. And, it's silly and weird and whatever, but that's a lot of times how entrepreneurs think,
Yeah.
is like, well, I support Manila supports me. So that's just how you get, or at least me.
Definitely. A little bit about AO Oshkosh, the U.S. women's national soccer team. They just got announced what group they're in. So they're in Group G, and they drew Sweden, New Zealand, and Australia. That's kind of funny that New Zealand and Australia are in the same group because they're in the same region when it comes to Olympics, and now they have to face each other in the opening group stages. But some good news. We did get an email from AO American Outlaws, like the headquarters, and they said that if our viewing pub is comfortable with organizing some viewing parties, responsibly, that we can go ahead and start promoting those viewing parties. So before, when all this pandemic happened, well, for one, there weren't that many soccer matches happening, but thankfully, since then, soccer matches have been more scheduled, and players are playing again, whether it be for empty stadiums, but they're starting to fill up the stadiums a little bit and having like different pods. So like if you're going to a game with, like, say you and I were going with some other people that we knew, that we could get our tickets together and sit together in the stadium, and then just kind of keep those, spaced apart. So yeah, I mean, it's a cool thing for athletes in general, just because when you play the sport, like, yeah, you play for yourself, but you feed so much off of that energy from people in the stands and stuff, so yeah, we're excited to see that happening. We got some U.S. soccer matches coming up, and we'll be posting that on our AO Oshkosh page, and we'll share it on the Barkada podcast page too as well. So
it's so nice that life is returning to some form of near normal. We've spent so much time in the new normal that it became normal, and I'm so excited for us to go back to the way it was. Like we started planning outdoor events for Caramel Crisp, and I don't know about community events necessarily yet, but at least for Caramel Crisp, I'm gonna take the leap of faith and do a few things. It's just nice to be able to do anything. We've just been kind of static for so long. Well, for a year, trying to survive.
I just noticed on visitoshkosh.com, Two Blondes is reopening. Have you heard much about that? Okay. Is that where Tamara's is having a area there?
They took over. It was like the Classy Kids space, I think.
Yep.
And I don't know what they're actually doing. I got to admit that I've been pretty selfishly trying to just work on Caramel Crisp, so I don't know as much about everything else as I usually do.
Yeah.
I did just recently start to expand into some community projects that had also been on hold through everything. So, again, I don't fully know, like I know that there's a new art gift shop down by Reimers, and, there's a couple things going on down there.
Yeah.
A new boutique on Main Street, and, so that, we've all survived it, so now we just need to get people back down here.
Yeah.
This with spring and summer coming, I think that we'll
be
sure doing that.
Yeah,
I know Marlo and I sit on the bid board, Business Improvement District, and, although we're not going to bring back the spring wine walk, we are going to be doing one or two wine walks, maybe midsummer to late summer. I'm personally trying to, you only get 2 a year. And I personally thought it would be fun to, since we're not doing the spring one, let's do a holiday one. I thought that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Hot toddies or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of events, Star Wars.
Yes.
May 8th, right? Are you guys going to be doing anything for that?
May 4th. No, it's May the 4th be with you, but May 8th, because that's Saturday.
Yep.
We're going to have Yoda cookies and Stormtrooper cookies.
Nice.
We tried the R2D2, but he is just really complicated. Too much wiring and lighting. And
Right.
I'm just kidding. So we're still in the process of developing them, but we will have them. We'll have them actually probably for May 4th as well.
Yeah, cool.
But
I know the kitchen and front of house staff they're coming up with some pretty cool creative ideas for that. I know we have some interesting looking sushi. Yeah, we'll share that, and then we're gonna do some themed boodles too for that Saturday. So it'll be a lot of fun. So again, May 8th, there's gonna be a lot of different businesses downtown participating in it.
yeah. Tell me, can you get a boodle for 4 and a boodle for 12, or are boodles just one size and that's it?
Well, our minimum we ask is to have at least 4 guests.
4?
Yep. But on that particular Saturday, and every once in a while, like, for Valentine's Day, we'll do like boodle for like 2 or whatever, So and that's going to be kind of our aim for that day, and just kind of just give people a little bit of a sample of what it's all about, and kind of it's our opportunity to tell them that, hey, when next time you have a birthday or a celebration or something like that, it's super easy, it's super fun. You can have people show up, just get your drinks, and then have some fun.
Yeah.
The food's right in front of you, so.
I've seen different groups do videos pre-COVID, and they just look like such a blast. Kind of like, I hate to phrase it like it's like a free for all, where you just kind of jump in and eat what you want and pull from where you want and whatever. It just looks like so much fun. I think like it should be like a team building thing or something.
Why not, right?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. It just it looks like great fun.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
I just another great idea.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be right back in just a couple minutes. We're gonna wrap things up with Manila Beat, and then we'll ask Chanda what her goes to are. I have a feeling that you guys already know what she likes here, but we'll talk a little bit more about Manila.
Ready for our date?
Always.
Looking for something fun to do at home? Get your Manila at Home Sushi Take Home Kit and see what kind of sushi rolling skills you got. We make it easy and take everything that you need to make your sushi at home and put everything right in this box. Everything is separated into differently labeled containers, and we even created a tutorial video for you to follow along. No need to run to all of the stores for all of your ingredients, and no need to prep anything else but yourselves for some fun.
Bam.
Right.
Show us what you got, and don't forget to tag us with your pictures on our social media pages.
This is really good. This is a lot of fun.
Give us a call at 920-230-1082 or order online at manilaresto.com for your Manila at Home Sushi Take Home Kit. Bubuhay! All right, we are here for episode 11. Now we're getting into the Manila Beat. So let's start things off. What are your favorites here at Manila?
Ninoy?
Ninoy?
Yeah.
He's your favorite?
He is, because I assume he developed my roll. We also like the spicy spider.
Yeah.
And I have this weakness for wasabi. I love it.
Okay.
I could almost eat that stuff with a fork.
Really?
My husband's like, how do you do that? And I'm like, I'll tell you, sometimes it hits the sinuses, but man, I love it. But yeah, it's really hard because we've tried them all and they're all good. My husband's not a huge fish eater, so we would try like a salmon one, and it would be more than he wanted or whatever. Anyway, so we ended up coming back to the Ninoy as our all-time favorite, and then we just like I said, we've sampled most of them, but that is our go-to constantly. Like, we don't even look at a menu anymore, sadly. We'll hear what the roll of the month is.
Sure.
And sometimes we get that. There was, I forget which one it was. Might have been the herd roll. It was good. It might be offbeat. I don't remember. Anyway, they're good, you know, and we like them or whatever, but we always end up back, you know, to what our favorite.
Yeah, it's hard, right?
yeah. I mean, it just is so good. I mean, and it's not raw fish. So,
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
all
like,
cooked.
yeah, well, and I really think some people think that sushi is always raw fish, and it's not. I mean, I'll admit that before I met you, I thought sushi was always raw fish. But it's not. And now it's so sad. Like, my staff is like, oh, you know, where should I go to eat? And I'm like, here, take this gift card, go to Manila, get a Ninoy.
Nice.
And then they're like, oh my gosh, Chanda, that was so good. I'm like, right? You know?
No, the story behind the Ninoy Roll, at the time when we were first opening up, like, we wanted to come up with some nice signature ones, you know. And when Chef Ray was here too, helping out my cousin, he came up with the Gaza roll, and that's also popular. But the number one selling roll has been the Ninoy roll. You know, it looks cool. It's all cooked stuff, but it tastes fantastic. You know,
it's so good. I mean, it's just unbelievable. The first time I had it, I was just it just is so good. I don't know what else to say. Like, if you haven't tried it, why haven't you tried it? You know.
So we got to get you to try some of the Filipino stuff now, huh?
I have.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, no, we have. Because sometimes, like, well, when we were experimenting more in the beginning, we would get one roll, and then we would get menu items or whatever. But again, you get to a point where you're, like, so looking forward to, you know, like, I'm telling you, on Tuesday, that's what I'm getting. It just is... that's what you look forward to, and that's what you get. I'm not saying that anything else wasn't as good or whatever, but that was so good. You know, it just is, it sticks. It's kind of like, you know, you have your favorite cookie and that's what you get or whatever. In your case, your kid's Superman ice cream, you know, and you know, so it just is the go-to right now. But like I said, I also, well, and this probably would happen, like, I might be calling for that rice bowl that I
so
saw
good.
Autumn got.
Yep.
And we would probably get that, like, as takeout. You know, because I think that would travel well. Yeah. Which, go ahead, never mind. I don't want to sidetrack.
No, you're fine. So the story behind the Manila Rice Bowl, again, for those of you who have not heard, I probably came in here after an evening of going out. And the fun thing about, you know, owning a restaurant or whatever, is like you can experiment and mix different things together. And I was like, you know what? Why don't we take some sisig and then add a couple of different things in there. So we threw in some red and green bell peppers, have that all diced up, served it with some rice and an egg. And it's really like the perfect combination of things, I think, that you can have at any time. When you wake
just
up,
when you're hangover?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
you can have it in the morning, for lunch, for dinner, and it's actually pretty reasonably priced on our menu right now. And if you want to spice things up, I like to add a spice or the Thai chili pepper onto it.
That's how Pete would eat it.
Yeah, gives it a nice, good kick, you know, so.
I would not get the chili pepper, but it does look good to me. It looks interesting and worth trying. Even though rice is something that I'm not supposed to eat too frequently, so that's why Manila is a treat to me. But also cookies I can't have. Most of my store I can't eat. But you know, when I do, everyone knows when I'm on a cheat from my diet because they're like, "Oh, you going to Manila?" I'm like, "Where's the sushi picture, Chanda?" You know?
You don't even need to tag where you are. Everyone knows, right?
Oh, everyone knows.
Yeah, when everyone asks, "Where are you?" And you're like, "Really?
Yeah.
Do you need to ask?"
Like, I'll be like, "I'm so looking forward to my cheat weekend," and then everyone on Facebook's like, "Well, I guess Manila's gonna be seeing you." I'm like, "Oh, sushi weekend," you know.
Nice.
It's not a huge cheat for me, so I don't always just do a cheat weekend with Manila. Sometimes I'll be just like, Pete, we need to go to Manila, and whatever. But.
So can you tell us a little bit about like your first experience with sushi? Like how did you get into it? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I think Pete and I were just like, we need to try it, Mm-hmm. And it might have started out of a loyalty to you, like we need to get in there.
Was it here?
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
100%.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I've never had sushi anywhere else. Okay. So I won't, I mean, I know there's other locally owned places, but you're downtown. I gotta stay, my first loyalty is to downtown, and then my second loyalty is to Oshkosh. Yeah. But so I'll never cheat on you. But anyway, it was here, and I honestly don't remember if we started with a Ninoy or if we started really, really, really easy with like a California roll or something.
Yeah, no, that's the fun thing about, and really our whole restaurant it can be a new experience for a lot of people, who haven't experienced, Filipino food or sushi even for that, and people have that curiosity to come in and try it. Like we pride ourselves on training our serving staff to be able to guide, our guests as to like what would suit them the best, And we do have like that starter sushi, the Packer roll and the California roll. I think those are super easy.
Actually, I think it was the Packer roll.
Yeah.
I really do.
I thought you were ordering that for a while too, weren't you?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was with the soy wrap, so it wasn't for people that weren't familiar with like the nori, the seaweed. That was a little bit more approachable. So.
Is there meat in there? I don't remember.
The pack roll is tempura shrimp.
Okay.
With avocado.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
That's good too. That is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That might have been the first one.
Okay.
Because I remember I loved that shrimp. And then remember that one time we were sitting at the bar and I ordered what I thought was that. And I got the actual shrimp, which was also really good.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't a roll.
I remember that. You're like, what is that?
Yeah, wait a minute. This isn't what I meant to order. And then I had that rice, too, and that rice was really good. Yeah. Kind of a sweet rice.
Was it yellow?
It had a color
to
it.
Java rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was really good, too. I was thinking this is how naive you are when you don't know what you're, like, oh, I'll take that tempura shrimp thing, and you get shrimp, and you're like, okay, well, that was supposed to be a sushi roll. Like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But that was a fun night. I maybe had too much wine.
Another funny thing, especially since we've been talking about the Ninoy Roll a lot, someone came in here, ordered a Ninoy Roll, and then it came out, and they were like, I thought this was a burrito. And then we're like, oh, no, it's a sushi roll. I was like, am I not in a Mexican restaurant? Yeah. So we had a good laugh with that for a while, just because that was one of our more odd types of interactions with a guest that we've had, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the color scheme because of the orange and the darker orange.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it says Ninoy Roll. And then if you're looking at the menu, it's underneath the sushi section and stuff.
I mean, there's a big, map of Manila and the Philippines.
Yeah.
I don't know. It says sushi on the door.
Yeah.
I mean, it says a lot of stuff on the door, but I mean, it's pretty big writing.
Yeah.
Was he hungover?
I don't know. It was such a long time ago, but I just remember that story. So, but yeah. What else is there we can talk about here? Manila. Oh, we starting to put together a little bit of a Manila Market. I don't know if that's the official name yet, but we just have a few shelves over there that houses some sake, some of our noodles, some of our bottled sauces, and we just recently got some customized mugs and water bottles and everything like that. So I guess our aim is just to have some items that may be difficult for people to find at your normal grocery store. Not to take anything away from, the Asian stores that we have here in town. They're awesome. Shout out to Bees. We always go there. But it's just convenient for them, if they're coming here to eat dinner already. And if they already had like a sake that they like that they can't find anywhere else, like we'll have it here, so.
I mean, it's always like, we sell popcorn, so therefore we sell popcorn salt or coconut oil or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it is nice to occasionally have the one-stop shop, like if...
Like Walmart. Yeah. Just kidding.
Caramel Crisp doesn't carry diapers.
Yet.
It's just like, well, if I'm going to take this home, it would be nice to be able to pick up the sake right away too, or whatever.
Yeah. Have you tried sake yet?
No.
I think you'd love it. I think you'd really love it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not a big drinker. Probably the last time I got fairly intoxicated was sitting here drinking that wine. 7 years ago or whatever it was. But well, and whatever that was right around when I started my first sushi.
Okay.
It was whenever that was. So it was that long ago.
Yeah.
Seems like yesterday.
Fun. Well, you have a birthday coming up, right?
I do.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. You will see me on the day after, but for sure.
Nice.
But yeah, I was just because I did my big 50th party here, which was awesome. Mm-hmm. We just always, not last year, but always come here for the birthday dinner.
Yeah.
Or within the birthday cheat.
Yeah,
anyway.
right.
So I look forward to it.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
I've never gotten dessert here.
Yeah, give it a try. The Tyrone would be a good one for you to share with Pete.
All right.
It's our deep fried plantains wrapped in a wonton and served with ice cream.
Oh.
There's 4 pieces of it, so you can each have 2, or you can have 3, and you can have 1, or the other way around.
Or I can have 4, and
you can have it all.
Just suffer.
Yeah.
I'll give him a bite.
Mine.
I don't know. We just never. I think we like to fill up on sushi. We've made the mistake of getting 3 rolls and then being like, oh my gosh, I'm so full, because we share, and then we always fight over. I'm like, okay, well, I'm taking 4 of those and you can have 2. Well, and some are bigger than others too, so, but he likes the spicy spider and whatever. He likes Ninoy too, but
we got to
get a Packer roll.
Yeah. There you go.
So good.
Yeah. Sometimes it takes just a little bit of talking to jog your memory and you're like, oh yeah, that was really good.
It was good. There's been a lot of them. Like I said, I remember there was a special and that one was really good. And we must have come in like really within like 2 weeks of each, which is abnormal. We just don't have that kind of time. Mm-hmm. And we're like, do you still have this? And they're like, oh, no, that was last month. And it was like the 2nd or something. So you're just like, oh, shoot. But I don't remember what the roll was at the time. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure that if we would have asked, we could have had it made. But we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We're just not that.
I think we're about due to come up with a caramel crisp roll, huh?
Maybe we should do a caramel crisp dessert roll.
Ooh, there's an idea.
Yeah, I don't know how. That's your problem. But,
but name it after you guys. Gotcha.
Figure it out.
So can you tell us a little bit more about how we can find you guys and where you guys are located?
We're spitting distance from your back door. We are in downtown Oshkosh, and we are in the former Park Plaza Mall, what used to be Yonkers or Prangies, depending on your age. Mm-hmm. And it is 200 City Center, 1 block off of Main Street, kind of Pearl and Commerce. We have the whole corner there. Google has it,
Yeah.
We recently were just asked to be on a map. I'm like, who uses a map?
Right.
So anyway, you look for the bright blue awnings.
Nice.
Pretty quick trip off the highway too, and either come off the 76 if you're coming from the north, or 44 if you're coming from the south, and brings you right to Manila and Carmel, Chris, pretty much.
Boom. I like it.
Yeah, we're right here.
Maybe if you're interested in sharing some billboard space, maybe we can do something.
Yeah, smack one of your children up there eating cookies. Yeah. And
then have you eat the Ninoy Roll.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. There you go. There you go.
I like it.
Yeah, he's got the cutest kids.
Well, thank you. Just like to take this opportunity to thank you for being such a good friend over all these years, and I look forward to continuing this relationship that we have. I think it's special, and I'm really glad you came on to share your story a little bit, and hope that you come back again sometime soon.
I really only came to sit here and chit-chat.
Yeah. Okay. So
we don't get a lot of alone time because the kids are always in tow.
Right.
But, the attention span there is about 20 seconds. So.
Yeah.
But, no, it is great to have such a great friendship with the fellow business owners and stuff. And I do cherish your friendship and the downtown community, the Oshkosh community in a whole. We all need to be here and support each other and brainstorm and commiserate. Because we do, but you just don't hear about it till now.
Right.
No.
I often thought of, this is kind of sidetracking. We always sidetrack on these things, but I thought it'd be kind of fun, maybe not fun, to read some reviews. Like the bad ones.
Yeah.
And kind of just have fun with it a little bit.
So
kind of like on those late night shows where they do mean tweets.
Yeah.
And they have the athletes or personalities read them, and they're like, come on now.
Yeah. So shout out to Pete's Garage, because they do the best, because they actually respond sarcastically to their negative reviews and whatever. And I wish I had the guts. But I can tell you my best negative review came from a woman who was screaming, swearing at me. And it was because by the time she got to the bus station, she her ice cream had melted. It was 101 degrees that day, and she had not eaten any of the ice cream cone from the block walk, and it started to melt. And from that day forward, we did get picked on quite a bit for having ice cream that melts and not able to sustain 101 degrees.
Really?
Yep. That would probably be, and she must have called me 7 times to just swear at me over the phone.
No.
And my final time, I said to her, had you just started this conversation out politely and explained to me that your ice cream cone had melted too quick in your opinion, I would have been more than happy to give you an ice cream cone to replace it. She literally started the conversation with swearing and not the nice swear words. So, anyway, it's hard. I'm always, really envious of the people who can take that and not react. And my skin's got thicker over the years, but
for sure,
in the beginning it was really hard. Every negative review was like a stab in the heart. I'm sure you went through that. You're a lot more calm and laid back than I am. Chris Larson's got that too. I am very knee-jerk reactionary. I don't like it about myself, but it's how I am. And but over the years my skin's gotten a little thick, not much, but But yeah, that would be fun. We got a review as soon as we opened up the patio, and they said to me that they were upset because we didn't have water available. And it was literally CDC guidelines at the time of what we could reopen and do and offer. And her and her boyfriend wrote a separate nasty review, and it was all complete guidelines from the CDC that we were following that they were complaining about. Yeah, first day we were open to the public.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way too. Like when we first opened up, like, you know, just as a business owner too, like you can get like 1,000 positive ones and you're like, okay, good. That's awesome. It's great. And then you get that one negative one and you're like, how, but you know, you have to look at those, like there's some truth behind it. Right.
Yeah.
And then for the most part, people are willing to work with you or at least have a little bit of a conversation. Like you want to reach out to them. Like, hey, thanks for sharing your experience. Like, where did we miss the mark? How can we do better? You know, or if there needs to be some kind of explanation with, like, you know, why we do things a certain ways or have things the way they are. And, you know, you have to pick and choose your battles, right? Because sometimes it's just not for everyone. And it's, you know, that's why we have other places for people to be able to go and check out too, you know. But yeah, it's unfortunate, but I've learned that along the way. And I've heard that along the way too. You know, when you first open up, like things are going to happen. Like you're going to run into problems. It's just part of the game, right? But still, it's still frustrating because you want to do the very best you can for everyone that comes through your doors, and you want to, yeah.
You want everyone to be happy. I mean, ultimately your job is to make people happy, right?
Yep.
So yeah, you don't want to hear anything negative. You're literally trying your best. You know, I mean, if you're not trying your best, you shouldn't be in business. So hearing anything, and it's always something like, you know, I've had people contact me privately because, you know, that's actually the nice way to do things,
Yep.
you know, and said, I just wanted you to know my soup was cold. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, oh my God, you're kidding me. And I run out and sure enough, the soup warmer broke and staff didn't realize it or whatever, you know, so there's all these different things, you know, our cookies are made from scratch by human beings. So occasionally they make mistakes. And so if a cookie isn't as sweet enough, you know, they forgot the sugar or whatever.
Sure. Yep.
So it's nice to know that before we blow through all 250 of those cookies, you know, so we can yank them and fix them.
Yep.
But the nice way to do that is privately, you know, instead of slamming someone for an honest mistake. You know, I didn't purposely sell you a cookie with no sugar.
Yeah. This is totally getting to a whole new segment, but it's fine. We can wrap things up here shortly. But I find that we pay more attention to, you know, Facebook, Google. TripAdvisor hasn't been as busy for us anymore lately.
Either.
Yelp, I don't even care anymore because that's just where
nothing.
people go and like just to complain.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people just go there to be funny too, and I don't know. But you know, when you talked about, you have to pick and choose your battles. Like you want to focus. We focus on those areas, like, you know, Facebook, Google, TripAdvisor. But other than that, yeah. It's kind of whatever.
You know, it just is. And again, in the beginning, it hurts more. Mm-hmm. You do have a million people say to you, you know, Chanda, so many people love you. Why are you letting this get to you? And you're like, I don't know. That's a good question. Mm-hmm. You can't please everyone. I can tell you that I prefer a soft cookie. And there's plenty of people that don't like soft cookies. Yeah. They want them crispy.
I don't know who those people are, but.
Yeah. Me neither, but that is what happens. So, you know, so you can't please everybody. And the sooner you can learn that, the better off you are. But I can tell you, I still struggle.
Yeah.
I want to please everyone. I want people to be happy. And, you know, ultimately we're handing people happiness in the form of cookies and ice cream and pie and, you know, cupcakes and whatever. So we carry food too, but let's face facts. That doesn't make the person as happy unless it's a Ninoy.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So
cool. Well, yeah, we'd love to have you back on again.
Sure.
You know?
I'll just come and, you know, drink coffee with you and then.
Sure. It's the morning coffee with Chanda.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
We should get Amy on here. We should do a nighttime segment with wine.
Sure, I'm totally down. Our night times are definitely changed over the years, so why not?
Yeah. At this point, you're probably looking for a reason to get out of the house. Is she sleeping through the night yet?
Last night was a little rough, but other than that, no, she's been a really good baby.
I can't wait to see her.
Yeah, we just got to get her on a little bit more of a routine, but there's not much of a routine for her at this point in time.
So COVID baby.
Yeah. But Patricia's definitely enjoying her time home with her right now. And then, once the kids are done with school, that'll be fun to have them all together, so.
So much fun.
And then, how fast babies change, and she'll be doing this and that, maybe crawling. I don't know. I forget the milestone months and stuff like that, but it's coming up. It goes by fast.
First,
yeah. And then tomorrow, Friday, it'll be 4 weeks already since she's been born, which is pretty crazy.
That is crazy. Well, because I was mentioning to Evelyn last night, I can remember when Reginald was born, and when he was baby, he's 5 now. Just as, and even Evelyn, I remember when she was 3.
Yeah.
2 maybe even.
Yeah.
But I don't remember Patricia pregnant with her. Oh, maybe I do. I am old. Birthday's coming up. It's just slipping fast.
Yeah.
But.
Right on. Well, you can find our episodes on the barkadapodcast.com or on our Facebook page, the Barkada Podcast. We are also on Instagram and working on getting on other platforms. I'm still learning and talk to our buddy, Aaron Armstrong over at Venture, the Venture Project, right? That named that correctly.
Yeah.
But he's familiar with that and kind of gave me some insight on what to do. So we'll be looking into that.
They're having a baby too.
Yeah, and he'll be actually our next guest next Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that for episode 12. Aaron Armstrong from the Venture Project, and amongst other things, he's busy. He's a busy bee too.
He's so busy. Also on the bid board with us. So also a big advocate for Oshkosh and downtown.
Yeah. So very much looking forward to having some conversations with him too. So, but thanks again for joining us, and thanks to everyone that's listening and watching us at home or wherever you are. Thanks for taking the time to do that. Again, please let us know. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know if you are listening, what you like listening to, and all that fun stuff. So we can keep bringing you all the cool things and sharing stories from our friends here in the community. So.
Yeah. And by all means, get out and try a Ninoy and stop by Caramel Crisp for cookies after, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's
a great combo right there.
I hate to, put in a plug, but...
Yeah, we'll have to come up with some kind of promo, like buy a Ninoy, get a cookie.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Or vice versa, get a cookie, get a Ninoy. Ninoy Roll.
Yeah.
You can't take Ninoy from here.
It's sushi. It's not Mexican.
That's not a burrito.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, thanks again. We'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Thank you.